Good morning children. I welcome you all to the next video of class 11th business studies. We have started with the second chapter, that is forms of business organization, and this is the fourth part that we are going to continue in this video. We are starting with cooperative organizations today. Okay, a cooperative form of business is different from the business enterprise. In this form, the main motive is not earning profit, but the main motive of cooperative organization is mutual help. It works with the principle of each for all and all for each. So, we can define it also. Cooperative organization is a society which has its objectives for the promotion of economic interest of its members in accordance with cooperative principles. We move on to the features of cooperative organization. So, the first feature is voluntary association. The cooperative society is a voluntary association of persons. Any person can join the cooperative society if he has the common interest. For example, any farmer can join the agriculture society, or any consumer can join the consumer society. The members can leave the society whenever they desire so by giving notice also. Second is legal status. If it is compulsory for a cooperative society to get itself registered under the Cooperative Societies Act. After registration, the cooperative organization get a separate legal entity, which means the cooperative society is considered separate from its members. It can buy and sell property in its own name and can enter into contract in its own name. The death, insolvency or incapacity of any member does not affect the existence of cooperative society. Then third is limited liability. What does this mean? That the limited liability of the members of the cooperative society is limited to the extent of the amount contributed by them as capital. Then control. In cooperative society, the power to take decision lies in the hands of an elected managing committee. The committee is elected through voting of members. Then service motive. The main motive of cooperative society is to provide service to its members and not to earn profit. Earning profit is the secondary motive and not the main motive of any cooperative organization. Then equal voting rights. The cooperative societies work with democratic principle of one man, one vote. All the members get only one voting right irrespective of capital contributed by them. The rich members, by taking more shares, cannot dictate their terms. A person who has 1000 shares and a person who has 10 shares will get only one voting right only. Okay. Now we move on to some merits of cooperative organization. So first merit or advantage is equality in voting status. What I have already explained you, equal voting rights. The cooperative society work with the democratic system. They are based on the principle of one man, one vote. Then limited liability. The liability of member of the organization is limited to the extent of their capital contribution in the cooperative organization. At the time of losses, the creditors cannot have claim over their personal property. Then stable existence. The cooperative society has a separate legal existence. Death, insolvency or incapability of any member does not affect the existence of the society. Then economical functioning. The operation of a cooperative organization is quite economical, as most of the activities are performed by the members themselves, and while purchasing goods or raw materials, middlemen are eliminated, so they can get the raw material and goods at low cost also. The cooperative organization do not maintain large stocks. Due to cash trading, there are no bad debts. There is saving in advertising and selling expenses also. Then we move ahead to the next one, that is support from government. Okay, what is support from government? The cooperative organization get various benefits from the government, various concessions and rebate in taxes. These organizations get raw material at subsidized rate and offer loans. Government offer loans at lower rate of interest and on easy terms and conditions. Then easy to form. Formation of cooperative organization is simple process. Only 10 adult members having common interest are required to form. The registration process for cooperative organization is simple and does not involve any legal formalities. Then we move ahead to the next, that is open membership. That is, any person having common interest can become the member of the cooperative organization. No restriction on the basis of caste, creed or religion. Then we move on to the demerits of cooperative organization. Limited capital. First of all, the cooperative organization is formed by the people who have limited resources and there is no compulsion to contribute some minimum amount of capital to become a member. The principle of one man one vote also discourages people to invest more, so cooperative organization always face a shortage of capital due to low rate of return. Then second, in efficient management, the cooperative organization is managed by its members only. So generally all the activities are performed by members only. Members are not professional experts, they are inexperienced person. Cooperative organization cannot afford to pay high salary to professionals. Then lack of secrecy. In cooperative organization, there are open discussion in the meeting by members, so it is difficult to maintain any secrecy. Then excessive government control. Cooperative organizations get various concessions and rebates from the government. In return, there is excessive government regulation and control by the government. It is essential for a cooperative organization to get its account audited by the auditors of the cooperative departments and to submit its account with the registrar. All these regulations restrict the flexibility and efficiency. Then last one is difference of opinion or conflict among the members. So quite often the dispute arise among the managing committee and members in cooperative organizations. The members are from different sections of society. They may have difference of opinion, and if any member follows rigid attitude, it can lead to conflict and disputes. Generally, the selfish motive of members start dominating and they forget the service motive. Now we move on to types of cooperative organizations. On the basis of nature of activities performed, the cooperative organization can be classified in the following categories. These are consumers cooperative society, producers cooperative society, then consumers cooperative marketing society, then cooperative credit society, cooperative farming society and cooperative housing society. So let us understand separately. First of all, consumer cooperative societies. These consist of consumers who join together to eliminate the middlemen. Consumer cooperative societies purchase goods directly from the manufacturer and sell them to the members at reasonable price. The profit of the store is distributed among all the members as dividend on capital and bonus in proportion to the purchase during the year. Main objective is to ensure steady supply of essential goods and to supply the goods at reasonable price. Then producers cooperative society, we are talking about, consist of small producers who individually find it difficult to procure the inputs and get the machinery and latest technology. There are two types of producers cooperative, the one which provides raw material, input and machinery, and the one who sells the goods produced by these producers. And the main objective of producer cooperative society is to ensure steady supply of raw material input at reasonable price, to provide latest machinery and new technology, to ensure smooth distribution and sale of goods, help the producers to concentrate their attention on production of goods. Then we move ahead to cooperative marketing society, that is consist of small producers who find it difficult to sell their products at profit. The output of all the small producers is brought together and sold at the best price. Such a society helps to improve the bargaining power and competitive position of its member. It performs various marketing functions such as transportation, warehousing, packaging, trade and grading. The main objective is to ensure steady and favorable market, ensure the best price for the output, provide facilitation of transport, warehousing, packaging. Then cooperative credit societies. These deal people with limited means who we find it difficult to arrange credits or loans. These society provide financial assistance to the members and promote habit of saving among the members. The main motive is to protect the members from exploitation of money lenders, ensure loans on easy terms, low rate, to develop the habit of saving among the members. Then cooperative farming society, what is that? They consist of small farmers who join together to avail the benefits of larger scale mechanized farming. Such society is particularly important in the case of countries such as India, where agriculture suffers from excessive subdivision and fragmentation of land. The main objective: helping the small farmers to get the benefits of mechanized farming, provide improved seeds, fertilizers, and provide social and economic security. And the last one is cooperative housing society. These are formed to provide residential accommodation to their members. These societies purchase a big plot of land, construct the flats on that, and sell these flats to the members on installments and easy terms. The objective is to provide residential accommodation to their members, helping members to purchase houses at lower cost and provide civic amenities such as road, park, street light and parking, etc. So now you are going to prepare the notes of these which I have made you go through today. Now we are going to meet in the next video. Up till then, goodbye children.